From the OAC men's tennis tournament in Miamisburg, the Yellow Jackets season comes to a close by a 5-1 final at the hands of Mount Union. We're here with head coach Brian Rector. And Brian, I know it's not the way you wanted the season to come to an end in the semifinals, but I imagine you're probably pretty proud of the way you guys fought, especially toward the second half of the day. Your thoughts?
Right. Yeah, it was certainly a hard-fought match. We came out strong with the doubles. Things were tight, and then Mount Union played very, very well today. They executed towards the end of those matches. I think that kind of carried into the singles. We got a little bit of a slow start, but as you mentioned, a couple of matches, Jake Liebler turned around a very tight match and kind of steamrolled the rest of the way. Nathan Katz's been a fighter, since he got here day one on campus, and a couple of points away from, forcing a third set. We had other guys. 6 singles, I think, was up pretty big. So, 5-1, I think, was a little bit closer than that. But, hats off to Mount Union today. They played well when the big points counted today.
Even though Mount Union finished things off, you were able to get everybody on the court, and I think it was maybe somewhat fitting that your underclassmen were out playing. Jake Elbin played really well. Matt Harris struggled a little bit, but it certainly looked like your number one player, Dominic Prolofone, was playing well as well. Your thoughts on the future of the program as you go into the offseason?
Yeah, we have a good sophomore class going into the junior year, so I think kind of the core is there. I think we'll be a little bit smaller team next year, so I think the practices will be a little bit more intense with a smaller team. But yeah, I think a good core of guys are ready to go. They've learned from the seniors, not only this year, but last year we had 5 that graduated. So I think the mentality of what we need to do, it really comes down to execution on game day, as we saw today. I think we were certainly prepared. The fight was there. But I think we've got a good bunch of guys, not only on the tennis court, but academically, for the next couple of years, for sure.
I know it's tough to say goodbye to a senior class, but what has this group of 3 guys meant to you?
This group of 3 guys and their parents. I just passed out a couple of parent awards because the support that we have, not only from the players but the families. They travel with us. It truly is that BW family atmosphere. I've got 4 boys of my own. I haven't had any of them leave yet, but I've done this for 28 years, and every senior class, it's a little piece kind of gets taken away. But my family's pretty big, my extended family, if you will. I treat these guys like family, in season, out of season, once they graduate, and that's makes today. When we have a tough loss, it makes it just a little bit easier going forward, knowing that we got some support and some family.
Well, Coach Rector says goodbye to three young men that played very well, both on the court and are good young guys off the court. In terms of highlights of the season, Coach won his 500th career match earlier this year, and the Jackets finished with a really impressive 17-4 record. It's the best overall record in the OAC. Good luck in the offseason.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. The Baldwin-Wallace men's tennis team finishes up their season here in 2017 with a frustrating and disappointing close to the year, even though it was a hard-fought tournament. And the Jackets fall by a final score of 5-1. We're here with senior Jake Liebler, who we talked to before the OAC quarterfinal match when the Jackets were able to pull out a win. Jake, your win today was the only one that was finished off for the Jackets. Let's talk about your singles match. You beat Zach Teffner 6-2, 6-2. Really looked like you were in a pretty good rhythm. How'd you feel?
I felt really good today. The first time I played him a couple of weeks ago, I played terrible. I lost 6-2, 6-1. Was not confident with my strokes, was not confident with my serve. But today, with the whole crowd right there next to me, knowing that it probably was my last match if we were going to lose, I had to give everything I had. So I was definitely happy with the way I played in singles.
Jake was also out there on the court in doubles matches at the beginning of the day, and that's kind of where the day got off to a rough start. All 3 matches went the way of Mount Union, and so BW sort of had their backs against the wall. Your match was one of the more competitive ones. You're playing with Nate Katz. Just real quick, talk about the chemistry the two of you have kind of developed over the couple of years here.
So if anybody knows my tennis game, they know I'm a terrible doubles player. I've never been good at it in juniors in high school or anything, but something happened in college when Nate and I played together, we really click. I think it might have been because we were roommates freshman year and our games matched up pretty well. That is going to be one thing I'm really going to miss playing at BW's, being a partner with him. We had our matching headbands, we have our chest bumps, so hopefully we get to play a tournament in the future, but I'll miss playing with him.
Well, congratulations on a great career. 17-4 this year, nothing to hang your head about.
No, not at all. Thank you.
All right. We're with Jake Elbin after the Yellow Jackets tennis season comes to a close. Jake was on the court, actually on the other side of the building when the season eventually drew to a close, but Jake was playing incredibly well. He won his first set 6-0 and was up 3-0 in his second set, so it seems, at least to the casual observer, that there were very few errors. Talk a little bit, if you can, just about the way you played and the confidence you had today.
Well, we just had to rebound from that doubles 0-3. Had to attack his weakness, and I exploited it, and I took advantage of it.
In your doubles match, you played with Brian Carano, and you fell by a final of 8-4. One of the more competitive doubles matches that the Jackets had today. What do you like about playing with Brian, and maybe a fun memory knowing that this is the end for him?
First off, he's my friend, so that's always a special relationship when you have a doubles partner as a friend. Secondly, he gets everything back. He's a great tennis player. He had a great career here. So.
How about for you personally? What's it mean to you, to go into the off season, and what are you trying to work on?
Everything, just improve. I love improving. I'm a perfectionist. Footwork is probably my biggest key, and I just got to keep hitting out on the ball. So.
All right, Jake and the rest of the Yellow Jackets finished with a 17-4 record. It's the best overall record in the conference, and their season comes to a close here in the OAC semifinals.